Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Hot on the Open here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, and securities are offered by MoneyBlock. We are going to take a look at all of the action that's going on right now in the markets. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the Dow Jones, you have the Dow Jones up 6 points, now 7 points, to 20,957. Now, with that being said, you're seeing it trading on the lowest levels since the beginning of the open. This is not unexpected. The Fed came out. They did raise rates a quarter of a point, but their statement was a lot more dovish than what was expected. So now there's a lot of pressure on the future policies of the Trump administration, as well as consideration for looking at all of the data and really seeing the growth, the inflation risks, and the prospects of repatriation of assets. The Dow Jones now trading at its lowest levels of the day, now going into the red, down 5 points. You're seeing the SPX trading down 3 at 2382. Basically, again, trading down at its lowest levels. I think right now what you're seeing is a theme. The theme is that there's uncertainty. Why am I saying uncertainty? Because of the fact that we've run up so far, so fast on hope and promise. I've discussed this in many different situations. The NASDAQ trading at 54.1050, down 580. Again, trading on its lowest levels of the session so far today. And the Russell 2000. Now, the Russell 2000 signaled the pop yesterday. It was moving in advance of the Fed announcement, and then post the Fed announcement, the Russell 2000, the small cap, highly sensitive to domestic data and economic components, is trading now at 1386.02, up 3 or about a quarter of a point. Quarter percent. Again, well off of its best levels, but it is better than the open. But this is the level that you're going to want to watch. 1380 on the Russell 2000. That's the 20-day moving average. A break there puts the 50-day moving average in play, which is 1370. A break there, folks, that means that if you see the Russell start to get negative, watch out. That means that the general markets, again, could come under some pressure. And we have been looking for some sort of sell-off. When it's going to happen, I'm not going to say it's today, tomorrow, or in a week, but we're going to start to now see pressure on the market, by the market, especially if we're not seeing some movement on tax reform. I know this is sounding like a broken record, both corporate and personal tax reform, as well as healthcare and the trade policies. We're going to watch this very closely. Taking a look at the vol index, though, still under that 12 level at 1140, down 20 cents today. Still, vol got crushed yesterday. It's continued to stay now at historic lows. Basically, once it gets into that 10, 11 range, you're talking about no volatility in the market. So you're not seeing that expectation of violent moves being reflected, but you're starting to feel it. The dollar coming off. Down only 8 cents, but it's off of its worst levels of the session so far. We're going to watch the dollar move. That's given a boost to global currencies. It also was giving an early boost to oil, but oil has come off of its best levels, trading at 48.64, now down 22 cents. This oil trade, this is going to get volatile, folks. As I had noted, the pivot's right around that 47.60, 47.70 level, down right around here. That's where the turn started yesterday. We're going to continue to watch this. I think you're going to see a range right now of around $3.50 for the West Texas contract for the next 30 or so days, bare minimum. And so you need to be prepared for seeing some volatility in there, especially as we start to see some more reports out. We did see what could be considered a bullish report for crude. There was a draw in the EIA yesterday from supplies. Also taking a look at Brent. Brent early yesterday never really bought into the rally that the West Texas contract had, but it is up 89 cents or 1.75% at 51.81. We'll watch this very closely, especially as we start to see what the OPEC nations and non-OPEC nations, if they're going to continue to adhere to their reduction in the production of crude oil. Taking a look at the bonds very quickly, the bonds are pulling off from price. You see that the 2-year bond, which is the most sensitive to these short-term interest rate hikes that you're seeing from the Fed, they've pulled off, now trading at the lowest price levels that we've seen all session this morning at 147.15. You're seeing the 10-year pulling off. That means that, folks, yields are going to come up. Once you see these bond prices come up on the 2, the 10, and the 30-year, all three down right now, that means that yields are going to be coming up. You're seeing global yields coming down. So we're going to watch this very closely. This is also going to support the finance sector. So if you see any weakness short term in the finance sector, these bond movements, as far as prices coming down in the bonds, that could support the holding up the financials, especially if the yields start to increase pretty dramatically. Again, keep an eye on that. That's where you can strategize on potentially adding financials to your portfolio. All right, folks, that's it right now for what's hot on the open here in the U.S. We'll be back on at 1:30 Eastern Time. I'm going to be covering some really cool strategies that you can incorporate, especially if we start seeing some volatility in this marketplace. So join us at 1:30 Eastern Time here at MarketStream.live.